Alex, it's so great to see you. Thanks for joining us and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you. Thanks for having me back.
Well, we were talking jokingly, but it really isn't a joke that January really is divorce month. Does that strike you as interesting?
It is true. Divorce filings are generally speaking up in January. People go through the holiday season. It's high stress time. They're traveling with their family. They're eating a lot of dinners together with family. And a lot of people at the end of that time period say to themselves, I'm not doing that again next year. New year, new me, resolutions for the new year ahead.
And so your phone must be buzzing nonstop.
It is January's a busy time for me.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's good for you, of course, and maybe it's good for, and we'll talk about this. It's probably good for the couples as well. So, with that in mind, you run a very successful mediation practice where you help couples kind of resolve their differences and kind of get to that next step. But there have to be mistakes that people make along the way, and if there are, what are some of those mistakes?
So first I would say that, and we've spoken about it before on the show, it's really important to get your team together. This is a really scary, important time, making big decisions about things that you may or may not have the deep knowledge to make the decision about. So get your team together, get your divorce lawyer, get your mental health professional, get your financial advisor, get your business expert. Get somebody to help you understand what creating a budget is like so that you can make smart decisions in your divorce. So again, the first thing that people often put by the wayside and think I can do this on my own is that they forget to get their team together. The second thing I would say is holding on to stuff. People get tied to the bricks and mortar of their home, the stuff within their home, these emotional ties that, at the end of the day, it is just stuff. And it may be better for you to get a new home, to get rid of the stuff and to start fresh. And so have an open mind and, in approaching the process in that way. And then the last point that I would say is leaving room for new tradition. People often hold on to I always had Christmas Eve with my family, or we always spent 4th of July, you know, by the water. There needs to be room for new tradition because your family is going to be in a different form. You may or may not have your kids on a particular holiday, and that's okay. You can learn to create new traditions that could be better for them.
Alex, I mean, these obviously are important pieces of advice, but as you're talking, what I'm thinking about is whenever I don't want to change and I want to hang on to the past, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for the future. How much is, not finding the right advisor or right team? How much are these mistakes baked based on just fear of the unknown?
I think so much of it is fear of the unknown. You've become used to this lifestyle with a partner in your home, helping you with the day-to-day routines, helping you with budgeting, helping you with finances, managing the kids, and the idea of transitioning to um, something new where that partner isn't going to be there or is going to be there in a totally different capacity is scary. And so making sure you have your advisors around you to help you make those decisions and make it less scary. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, you sound like the Schoolhouse Rock commercials when I was a kid. Uh, Let me ask you about, you mentioned children. Does that add an additional layer to the work that you do as a mediator, but also this process? Because depending on the age of your children, I have to think that you have a different perspective versus grown adult age children versus younger adolescents.
Absolutely. I mean, when we're talking about kids that are 3 and 4 years old, a parenting schedule is very different than we're talking about teens who, are 16 years old and can drive themselves here, there, and everywhere. And we need to be mindful of that when creating a parenting schedule to make sure that it's tailored to the needs of that family. And it's important to ask questions. It's important to, think through the day-to-day lives for your kids to make sure you're creating that parenting agreement that suits them.
And you got to have the team in place, Alex. But how much is uh, I'm going to call it divorce literacy? Is that important? Meaning, in order to hire the team, you got to have a little bit understand get an education about what is it, what does divorce mean, what's the process? How much is that a part of this process?
It is a part of the process, but I think it's also a part of finding the right lawyer that suits you. If you need a lot of handholding, it's important that you find that divorce attorney that's going to really put their hand on your back, hold your hand, and guide you through the process, making sure they've answered every question that you have. Most people, it's their first time going through the process, and they don't may or may not even know what questions to ask. And so making sure you have the right personality fit for your team is critical.
And to find that person like to represent you, do you go to family and I guess you can't go, you can go to one half of your family, I guess. Do you go to, in all seriousness, but who do you go to? I mean, do you go to the American Bar Association? Do you go to the local chapter? How do I find that person? And what works for one friend, they may have a completely different personality than someone than you. You
Yeah,
really
I
need
mean,
to find
divorce
someone that's
lawyers
going to.
are
Go
exactly.
ahead.
Divorce lawyers are not all created equal. And from my perspective, the best place to go is your trusted advisors. Go to your friends, go to your family, go to your financial advisor. And then if needed, go to your local chapter of the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers or the Bar Association. You will find the right fit for you, the right price point, the right personality, and the person who's going to help you through the process in the best way possible.
Alex, my last question, and I want to get you to wrap everything up for us. But does this have to be a tenuous process? I mean, I know people can disagree. We often have arguments with our significant others, but does it have to be? Does there come a point of realization that this is a reality, and you don't have to be acrimonious in your final act together as a couple?
I mean, that would be the best case scenario is that two people can come together and recognize, hey, we're not working out as a married couple. Let's do the best we can to financially disentangle ourselves, to change our co-parenting relationship to that of co-parents and not spouses, and make it less acrimonious.
Yeah.
Regrettably, that's not always the case.
Yeah, I mean, just listen to us talk about it. I've never been through it, but I'm nervous just talking about it because it just sounds like a lot of change, and you're stepping out on a limb that many people, unless you've done this before, have never been through. Alex, we've got about a minute left, and I was wondering, we had a great conversation. Would you mind just summarizing some of the key takeaways from our conversation this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to get your team together. It's important to not be tied to your stuff. And it's important to have room for new tradition in your family, in your financial life, in your children's lives, because it's going to be a new normal.
Yeah, very well said. Alex Jacobson, always great to see you. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to having you back again very soon.
Thanks so much.
Well, thanks for watching. And don't forget, we're back again tomorrow morning with another great expert and another great topic. You can tune in right here Monday through Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place, delivered directly to your email box. Check it out at our website.